two. You are two. New best friends. Us. She's not my sister. She's my mother.
I know I screwed it up again, but I didn't. I'm the mother.
You're the mother. My name's Emma Faye.
And I'm Kathy.
Kathy K.
Kathy K. and Emma Faye.
And Hank, the hearing dog.
Hank, the hearing dog, he's down here sleeping.
He's sleeping, keeping our feet warm.
He is.
We had a cold from here.
We did. In Texas, we were like 87 or 90.
Yes, I was expecting that.
We were freezing.
And now it's freezing.
It is.
Yes. Are you ready to jump into?
Hey, I'm so ready. I was born ready. I think I was made for podcasting.
I think you were. I'm impressed by your podcast skills.
I am so impressed because I don't like being in front of the camera.
I know. And also when you speak in public, you get a little nervous.
I do get a little nervous. I didn't used to. I used to be a theater girl, and I was on stage. But with theater, you learn lines, and so I wasn't having to come up with stuff. But I also was really big into speech as well, so I don't know what to do. I don't know. I
think I took over the whole.
You took it over. You did. You did.
You did it.
My bra straps keep showing, so I'm trying to get adjusted here.
Don't show.
Okay.
The collarbones. Not allowed.
Not allowed. Okay.
Modest is harder.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so hey, instead of crappy versus happy today, let's do a new thing. Let's alternate back and forth.
I think so too.
I think we should do hot takes.
Hot takes.
So, hot takes.
Hot takes.
What does that even mean? I don't even know what that
Hot takes means you have an opinion, like, what the heck?
I have a strong opinion about something.
Yes, I mean, you know.
Oh, I could do hot takes all day. I have strong opinions about so many things.
You're an 8.
I'm an 8. I live in strong opinion land.
Living strong opinions. Yeah, I mean, seriously, sometimes your opinion, I'm like, thanks, but I didn't need it. I didn't want it.
Okay, but how many times am I correct in my opinions?
Correct. For example, I got on the kick that our non-profit was going to do some gardening.
Oh my heavens. Gosh.
So I got these raised flower beds, and I had it so excited. I'm looking at garden. All these cute little deaf kids are looking at the garden, and we're going to make money by selling this produce, and the kids are going to, be adorable, and they're going to gardening outfits, and you were like, that is dumb. That's stupid. It's not going to work. And that's what, a year later?
It's still in there. So here's, it's not real hard to come up with these things of being right because you've never been able to keep any plant alive. Your entire front porch is fake plants. Oh, and I had bought multiple plants for Egg Silent, and nobody ever wired them. Nobody ever watered them, and they all died.
I have a funny story.
Yes.
So
you were so offended that I did not think you were going to garden.
I wasn't gardening. I thought I had a volunteer. I thought we could go garden.
It still was a dumb idea, but anyway.
It didn't work. I understand that. So I got, I thought it was fake. A thin plant for the office, and I lulled you in. And it's so cute. I love it. So about a month goes by, I'm like, where is that plant? It was a real plant. And we had not watered it or paid attention to it. And
it died?
It died. I thought it was fake. I only buy fake plants.
I know. So what were you thinking on putting in a garden? But anyway, we're digressing. Okay, well, that was kind of a hot take. I had a strong opinion about it.
Yeah.
So, Emma Faye, what is your hot take in this single season? Yeah, you start. Unless you want me to start. Do you want me to start?
I have such a strong opinion about dating now.
Okay, let's start with me then. Let's trash the dating and we'll come with me. So here's my hot take. I get incredibly annoyed by celebrations. Honestly, I do.
You are the most anti-celebration person.
I think so much of it is a marketing scheme.
And from marketing, it's Instagram.
It's both. So I think it's marketing and I think it's Instagram stupidity. So the first thing I have never liked, and this including, I've been a mother for 27 years. I have never liked Mother's Day and Father's Day, Valentine's Day. I think all of those are wasted. What the heck? What is that even about? You spend $5 on a card you don't need. You're buying gifts you don't need. You're buying junk.
You're anti-love.
I am anti-love. I think that might be it. And now I am
Hallmark.
I hate the Hallmark holidays. The other thing, and I really am not just a great holiday person, period. I don't.
Yeah, happiness is gone.
No, it's gone. I used to be really good with traditions and making holidays super special, and I still try to do that. I mean, and I think that's part of it is
You burn yourself out.
I have, and I work, it's always during my busy seasons.
Yes.
And Christmas is a horrible season in advertising. And you all decide to usually plan like a border hearing aid clinic and 14 events, but the silent. So between you and fourth quarter ad agents, it's terrible.
The whole family. And
Yeah.
you don't realize that the family is not just the four of us.
It's huge.
We have tons of things with extended families. We have 20-something birthdays all the time.
It's just,
It
is. We finally have started doing like a birthday month where we try to combine everybody together.
Now it's 3 months.
Yeah, because there's too many.
A week with a birthday.
It was ridiculous.
But now it's every 3 months, one party is thrown. If you miss it, you miss it.
You miss it. And the other thing that I get really annoyed by now is the Instagram celebrations. For instance, what the heck with the baby reveals?
Gender reveal.
The gender reveals. I just think that is so ridiculous. I mean, you know how we did gender reveal? The person put the little gizmo on you and we went, there it is. It's a girl. Oh, there's a boy. That's how you do a gender reveal.
No.
You don't have a party with 50 people and blow stuff up and all that. The other thing I think is the homecoming. Homecoming's become bigger than a marriage proposal. What is that about?
What's that about?
And what is the marriage proposals? These are out of control. These are out of control.
Go up to the girl. You want to go to prom?
You want me to tell you how I got engaged? So Dad and I were at the Riverwalk. I think we were having a beer on the Riverwalk during the Christmas parade, and we discussed it as a business deal.
Does this make sense?
Does this make sense financially? Does this make sense, to spend our lives together? We worked it out.
We like each other enough.
Do we like each other to spend the rest of our time together?
Yeah.
So then, I will say this, he told me not to tell my parents. We didn't have cell phones at that time, so he went to the bathroom and I called my parents, and I did tell them on the payphone. So that was his first experience of, we do not keep secrets.
No secrets.
No secrets in our
When people
house.
say, you don't share that with someone, I don't understand.
I share everything. I mean, too. Unless you tell me not to share, I'm going to share.
Yeah.
And
That's
then...
really good. Do not share.
Do not share.
Otherwise, it's free game, because I'd share that about my own life.
I would
If
absolutely.
you told me, and I'm like, you don't want me to cover that? I covered it like that.
I would too.
Yeah.
And so then we picked out a ring, and then he had the ring set, and we met at Pizza Hut after work, and he had the ring in his coat, and he sits down and he goes, here. And that was my proposal. Perfect. Ate a pizza,
Perfect.
drank a beer, out the door, piece of cake.
Getting me. And your wedding. Anticlimactic.
Totally anticlimactic.
I think it's a Texas thing. I don't think
It's so freaking dramatic here. What's it about? Oklahoma, you just got married. It wasn't a big deal.
I mean, you didn't even serve food, did you?
No, I was Baptist.
Baptist. No party. No
Nothing fun. Nothing fun.
Out.
In and out, baby.
Yeah.
You get a reception. You get some punch. I kind of walked the edge and had a saxophone player.
You did?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, saxophone.
I had a saxophone.
Why saxophones?
I don't know. At the time, I thought it was cool, but
Not cool.
it was the 90s. It was 1990 to be exact.
Yeah, so that's not cool.
Okay, so that's my hot take. I do not like celebrations. I think they're overrated. So
No, good.
yeah, what's yours?
I love a good thing to be down.
Oh, you love it all. I mean, you
I always have.
you plan your birthday the day after your birthday.
Mm-hmm. Always have.
Yeah.
Planning the best birthday ever had.
Maybe you broke me of celebrations. Maybe
I may have been
I
doing.
think you did too.
But I think everyone should celebrate everything in life.
I know you do. You just run around throwing confetti, and it's very annoying to me.
Yeah, because you can find confetti later and start doing shape pocket. Okay, so my hot take is I've been back on the dating scene
Yep, you have.
for the last 3 months,
And many dates we have had.
many dates,
Many dates.
and I'm dating, not dating about some of these people.
So I know what they are, but I think we should tell the listeners. So tell me what you're seeing. And I see them in your brother. So
my brother does this to women.
Your brother does this, and he and I get in massive arguments over how he does this.
But he has a sister.
He has a sister.
He has gotten better.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
But we're trying. So I've noticed, especially being in Christian dating, I'm in a different subculture and this dating. And, you know, it's been fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really appreciate getting to know people. It's, you know, you go out and you say, oh, I like that about somebody. I don't like that. So it starts to create a deeper taste of like
I said, you gotta kiss some frogs before you find the right.
Yes, so that's not always the best advice, but kiss some frogs is kind of fun.
That's my 8 advice. That's my 8 advice.
The 8 advice. Just kiss people and figure it out. So I'm ready for pre-smartphone dating.
Yeah.
I'm talking call the lady up. Hey,
well, that won't work with you.
I know. Well, you know what? Come see me in person. Bring me coffee at work. Because somebody brought me coffee at work to ask me out.
If somebody brought you flowers at work to ask you out, you'd probably marry him.
I'd probably marry him that day. I'm not even good at quality. So I had a few dates, and especially one weekend, I basically played my own speed dating game.
Yeah, you had 3.
At 3 in 24 hours.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah, you know. That's what it used to be. You just like, oh yeah, I'll have a date Friday, Saturday. For y'all.
Yeah.
Before the smartphone.
Perfect.
To do that and saving. I don't think these men are actually ready to get married.
Nope.
They're not.
Nope.
Not ready. So they say they are, but they're not acting like it.
These are 30 and 35.
I mean, these
are not young guys.
They're not young
one
guys.
One of them's 35. One of them's 30.
So we'll see who wins, but
what? I don't think either one of them.
I'm not sure any of them on. Yeah. So they asked, you know, can I have I said, oh yeah, there's some mutual interest, so we go out and, you know, of course the texting, they text all the time.
Non-stop
texting. Dropping in the DMs, all this stuff. So you finally go out and you're like, they not fun. I'm not fun. The follow-up game is weak. It's so weak.
Well, the texting starts again.
The texting.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a follow-up, and then they drop.
I've been ghosted, and then they click back 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So I keep getting ghosted, and then they click back expecting me to pick up where I left off. No, sir. I'm seeing some other people in between that.
And we're not digging your behavior.
I'm digging it. So I don't like the ghosting. I think men are now hiding behind social media.
Absolutely.
Well, I've noticed they stop texting, stop following up. Then all of a sudden they decide they're coming back around. So they start liking the post. They start dropping in a DMs again. And then they go back up to texting. I'm like, just be a man.
Yeah.
Be a man. Pick a date. Say yes, no, and then just don't lie. Because what I've noticed is they are actually so cowardly. They're so cowardly. That be a man.
Hot take.
Period.
Drop the mic.
Drop the microphone. Get with
Okay, so men, the 3 men listening, which are your dad, probably both. You probably wouldn't get by listening. Probably your dad, my dad, the other man listening. You take heed to these advice.
Take heed. No game. Listen, no game.
Yeah, quit texting and get on the ball. That's what we
say. Take that woman to dinner. Buy her dinner.
But technically, you don't like restaurants, so
take
you on a picnic.
Take me on a picnic. Stop playing games. Stop talking.
Here's the deal. You're a super cheap date. You can't do movies. You can't do theater.
You take me for a puppy on a hike.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
call me on 30. Take me out.
Okay. So last week we talked about. We did the poll.
Nice.
And 38% was how to raise living with deafness as a family.
Yeah.
And the other 38% was Kathy was raised in a zoo.
Yeah. So that comes from our family has the long-term entrepreneur spirit, generational entrepreneur.
Generational.
And one thing that made me start thinking about this is because taking a loan on building,
Aid the silent
building, is the same exact amount, the same age. Did you know this?
Oh, his granddad.
As granddad. Granddad took his first, same exact loan, same exact age, but his grocery business, as I was,
At 28.
this now.
How old were you for when we took the loan?
26, 25, and then that started at 25.
I thought he did 24, but maybe it was 25. I don't remember.
I don't remember exact, but it was the same age, same
Maybe it was 25.
dollar amount.
That's
dollar
crazy.
amount. And now I'm standing on the shoulders of people who took risk, who weren't afraid to fail,
Who said yes?
who said yes. Because part of it is just people are afraid to say yes.
I wonder
They
they
live safe. And if you play safe, you will live a very safe, mediocre life. And that's boring.
You gotta say yes.
So I say yes. And that part of it is you have to be willing to put yourself out there
And fell.
and fail. Yeah. And that's
And
part
it's
of it.
scary. It's so scary.
So scary. And that's why people play small. And it's like, they ask, well, how did you get to where you are? Because we took the risks.
Well, and I think a lot of times too, this is not about that animal part, but I think a lot of times is people see what's on social media and they don't see the gritty work that goes behind it.
And
They don't
people-
see the
Yeah.
staying till 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
They don't see the working on weekends. They don't see, the things that really take.
on Fridays, on days off.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't realize we work, Monday through Thursdays,
the 40-hour thing.
4 week, but when you start something, when you're craving that,
You
it's
just
more
need-
than just 40 hours.
It's nonstop.
And I mean, literally Fridays, not Fridays, meeting with people. I mean, if an email comes in, that's urgent, of course I'm looking at it.
And I work most Fridays.
Yeah.
Majority of my Fridays.
Because you're creating something.
Right.
It's your baby, And I think people see on social media the success. And for me, if they saw that building, they can see it on Broadway, but they don't see your 7 years of work.
And sleepless nights, and I was going to pay for this. And
Yes. And finally, we're in a
bleeding
great spot.
ulcers
We're in a great spot, but we bought that building.
with no money. Yeah.
So that's what people don't realize. There's a whole different side of it to what you see online.
Yeah.
And it is scary, and you don't sleep.
No, you don't sleep.
You really don't sleep because it's so scary sometimes. But your business sounds, I think, start where that came from.
Well, I think that one thing is that people want to know why I was raised in the zoo. So, when I was growing up, my dad had grocery stores that he started in his 20s, and they were the largest grocery store in Oklahoma.
And he has amazing stories.
He has amazing stories. They actually sold to Skaggs Albertson, which is now Albertson. That's who bought it. And sorry, I ate something on the break and now I'm refluxing. But
This tickled good.
I know, it doesn't really help. It's just old age. But anyway, he had grocery stores, and one day my dad came home with 2 fallow deer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bambi?
We lived on a farm. We lived out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, he came home with, actually, we named them peanut butter and jelly. And the male was a spotted male fallow, and the female was a white fallow deer. And he built this big pen in our backyard, and we would go out there and feed them and mess with them, and they would have babies. And so we'd have peanut butter and jelly sandwich and peanut butter and jelly honey. And so they would have babies, but then they started kind of interbreeding, which was not a good thing. And we would try to raise these babies, and we would take them in. And I was always an animal person. I had cats and dogs, and I caught frogs one time, and I brought them in the house, and I thought they loved me, and they would jump out of the box, and they all jumped out of the box and were all over the house. And I was one of those kids that had hamsters. I had every animal you can name.
Yes.
So now we have Hank.
Which should fill all
Fills all the animal needs. So at 10 years old, my dad decided, he had sold his grocery stores when he was 36. Albertsons. And he took a year off and studied the Bible. And then he worked for a lobbying group called Christian Freedom Foundation.
Yes. But like Billy Graham.
Yes.
Christian crusades.
What they were, I think, what their mission was to put Christian politicians into that office.
Yes.
And so he actually traveled back and forth to Washington for a year. We stayed in Oklahoma, and my mom raised us while he was gone. Two sisters.
Yeah.
And he traveled back and forth. He would come home on the weekends. And so that was really tough. That was really tough not having a dad there, and also her trying to raise us. And we would be three girls down in the middle of nowhere. And so he ended up coming back, and he bought land in the Arbuckle Mountains of Oklahoma, which is exactly halfway, between Oklahoma City and Dallas. 2 hours. Really a beautiful park. A lot of Oklahoma is not beautiful. This is a beautiful park.
No,
it's not an armpit. There's some gorgeous areas. It's like anything. It's like the Texas thing. Well, it is not flat. It's very flat. But the Arbuckle Mountains they're different than the Texas Hill Country, I think. They feel like more of a mountain, but they're not like Colorado mountains.
Yes.
And a lot of beautiful water. But anyway, he bought 400 acres there, and we decided as a family, and we still lived in Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
We decided as a family he was gonna put in a exotic wildlife park. Park. And so there we go. We began my childhood, from 10, and he sold it when I was married to your dad, and I got married in 1990, so he sold it. Well, actually, we ended up in Texas because of Arbuckle Wilderness, believe it or not. So he sold it, I think, 94-ish just when he sold it. So my whole life pretty much was this, and we were the number one tourist attraction in Oklahoma. My parents would pick me up from school on Friday at school, and I would get in the car straight from school, and my bags would be packed, and I would spend the entire weekend at Arbuckle Wilderness. The last day of school, they would drive up. I would get in the car. We had a whole nother house and a whole nother life in Davis, Oklahoma, and I would be taken to Davis, Oklahoma for the entire summer. I would live there all summer and come back for school. And we would reduce
it. Did you like fun?
I really did like going until I got into high school. Probably all the stuff, and it probably kept me, didn't keep me out of trouble completely, but it did keep me out of trouble a lot because I missed so much because I was always I didn't, and I was
maybe that was their plan.
Maybe that was their plan. I think it might have been a good plan.
Yeah,
and so we would go down there, and I think. My dad is an entrepreneur, and he's definitely my hero. My parents are just amazing, but as you know, they're your parents. But my whole life has been business. Like that's what we talk about.
That's still what we talk about.
We still talk.
Always say we're not talking business,
and then we talk business. And so,
also, I think to me, I'm just saying that he read a book called "Bring Them Back Alive."
He did,
and about animal conservation,
and it was a huge part of his life
and save animals and wildlife, and to talk about some of the animals that you guys made.
Yeah, so what happened is we put in this, it was a 8-mile drive-through.
Animal drive-through.
And it was, the only animal we did not have was elephants. Because elephants. Oh my gosh, we had every cat. We had the only cat show, I think, in the United States that had mixed cats. So a lot of times what happens is people, when they have cat shows, it'll be all tigers, or it'll be all lions, or all, jaguars. This one was a mixed. They were all different. Yeah, I don't know if they were friends. And the cat guy's probably not alive anymore because
the Tiger King.
You know what? The Tiger King, believe it or not, came right after us after we sold, and
kind of Oklahoma.
And our male breeding chimp went to him, and our female. Our female died with the Tiger King.
Really?
Our male chimp is still alive,
So
Joe.
you were the Tiger King?
Before the Tiger King, but we were psychotic and people and all that stuff.
No.
But we had, we raised chimpanzees. In the house. We had diapers, and your Aunt Lori raised chimpanzees with her kids. In fact, she had to take the chimpanzee away because her child was acting so much like a chimp. Joshua was.
Not, you don't call them monkeys, right?
No, monkey has a tail. Monkey has a tail.
Oh, that's the difference.
That's the difference. Yeah.
So, gorilla is
Do we
nice.
have gorillas?
No.
Dang.
You had giraffes.
We did not have gorillas. We did not have
Giraffes.
giraffes. We had lots of giraffe. We had rhinos. Actually, rhinos are pretty docile. We had hippos, mean. Hippos are mean. We had Cape Buffalo, which now Cape Buffalo. I now work with a client that sells exotic animals.
Yes.
And
It's
Cape
so
Buffalo would tree people. You know, they were supposed to get out of the car, but they did. And they didn't fit in a tree because the Cape Buffalo is so mean.
What's the meanest animal?
Cape Buffalo was probably the meanest.
Really?
Yeah. But this Cape Buffalo now are selling for $450,000. Giraffes now are selling for $250,000. I know this because of my client. But
Giraffes that is so sweet.
they're so sweet. I've seen a baby giraffe born. We had a couple of really fun things that happened. Well, outside. This isn't fun. We had a bull elk. We actually ended up putting it down because it was so out of control.
Oh,
it would
God.
charge every car that came
Oh
through.
no, I didn't know this.
Yes, and it would destroy every car, and it was just super, super, super aggressive. And then we had one time a giraffe stick its head in somebody's car, and they have the
Yes,
cars,
if you have a little
and pulled the door off, and it was wearing the door around its neck.
necklace.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I just thought this was a normal life. I would ride my paddle. We had a little paddle. We had a pond, and we had a monkey island that had lemurs on it, which are really mean, to be honest. But I would
Spider
ride.
monkeys too.
No, it was spider monkeys. You're right. It was spider monkeys. It wasn't lemurs. It was spider monkeys.
Yeah.
And I would ride my paddle boat out there, and I would get on the monkey island, is what we called it, and they would climb all over me, and I would just sit there with monkeys on me. But those monkeys, the paddle boats, we finally had to rope off because the people would ride the paddle boats up to the monkey island, and the monkeys would jump from the island into the paddle boats and freak the people out, and the people would be in the water, and it was a big scene all the time.
And you brought a jaguar to school.
I actually, from my 9th grade biology class back in Oklahoma City, I took 2 baby jaguars with me, and would you believe that day they got the skids? So I don't know if you know what that is, but that's really bad diarrhea. Really bad.
All of you to school.
All over me. Yeah. And so I don't recommend bringing baby jaguars to class. No.
But jaguars are cute. But all of these animals you're raising have claws.
Oh yeah, and they do. We have a baby tiger that we raised named Ivan, and it was
Ivan the terrible.
and your arms would be like bloody afterwards. Yeah.
He was your favorite animal.
As far as there's an animal that's like emotionally attached. I was emotionally attached to all of the chimpanzees. You're emotionally attached to, but one animal,
They're like little babies.
they're like humans for sure. But one animal I was really attached to. We had, and believe it or not, in Texas, whitetail are just nuisance and they're everywhere. But somebody in Oklahoma had actually hand raised a whitetail, which is illegal. And so, but this whitetail was like a dog. Bambi, and they brought it to us for us to take care of, and we had a petting zoo. And as soon as I would get, he's having a nightmare. And as soon as we would get to the park, I would run down to the petting zoo, and this Bambi deer would eat lollipops, and it would get in your lap, and it would lick your face. It was like a dog.
Yeah.
And I just adored this deer more than anything, and it ended up dying. I don't know why, but I was distraught, and I had multiple animals like that I was really attached to.
That would die.
Yeah, that something would happen to.
Yes, but there's a lot of us surviving for the most part. I
know. My favorite animal from a physical standpoint, I really loved Barasingos, which is a beautiful deer with just massive ears. They're just such a pretty animal. So I really loved those. We even brought animals with us from Oklahoma. So let me kind of tell a little bit. So our Buckle Wilderness was, because it was a huge tourist attraction in Oklahoma, we did a lot of advertising.
Which is how you learn.
That was actually how I got into advertising. Mm-hmm. So my dad would take me to the advertising meetings to hear the advertising that we hear. And I was just fascinated by it. And I thought, I can't believe people do this for a living. This is just so cool that you can actually get paid to do this kind of work and this creativity. And I was always a creative kid. Yeah, very creative, very into arts, very into theater. And it was just such a cool thing that I
How this lady probably?
oh yeah. Oh yeah, 10, probably 12, 13, I started going.
Yeah.
And I would sit through those meetings, and then as I got in high school, I was like, this is really cool. And so it really was the reason I went into advertising. I actually have an advertising degree.
Most people can't say they do what their degree is.
Right. And then minor.
Did.
I actually started in marketing, but I couldn't get out of math. So I have a minor in marketing.
Yeah,
and
if I had in communication,
none of us can
I
do
could not
that.
pass that.
None of us can do it.
So awful. I can count on the calculator.
I know. That's why you have bookkeepers and accountants.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we don't need to do that.
Yeah, and also, what was your first job?
That was the other thing. Arbuckle really taught work ethic. My dad his dad owned a mom and pop grocery store, and his dad was like, I don't care which part of the day you work, first 12 hours, the last 12 hours, but pick time. So my dad started working in the grocery store when he was little, and he really expected us to work. All of us had to work.
Well, you made me a vote, and then not vote. I was working at TV.
Yeah, you were
The vote.
now I don't pick up dance. Baby Bo, we don't make Baby Bo do anything. Emma had to work. But what happened with Arbuckle, and really it was a blessing. I hated it at the time, but I had to work. So when I was little, I had to make the animal food. So I would make all the animal food up for them, and I would help stock in the gift shop. And my sisters were, Wendy was actually, I think, gone by then. My older sister, but my middle sister was real involved as well. She actually always got to work in the gift shop where it was cool.
Why didn't you get to?
I don't know. I think as I talked so much, I ended up...
Gotta be by yourself.
Well, no, they put me on the ticket sell line, which was where I would have to be outside in the heat all day selling tickets, but you would upsell for animal food and you would upsell for this book that would tell them what the animals were.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can still say in my speech, welcome to Arbuckle Wilderness. Have you ever been here before? Well, maybe I can't say it. But I would have this whole speech that I would say. I'm going to have to practice that. I'm going to say that next episode. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to work on it. But it really taught me to sell on the spot.
Yeah.
And to, I had to work. But the cool part of it is I had tons of freedom. As soon as, in the 80s, nobody knew where their kids were ever. And
now we have helicopters.
No, and nobody could track, thank God. And as soon as I was off the clock, I was out the door and I was running around the lake and with friends. And I really had a lot of freedom. I think because my parents were entrepreneurs and we were in a family business, nobody really cared wherever anybody was. Ever. I'd ride horses on the road. Nobody cared. So that kind of started my entrepreneur journey. Knowing that, advertising is a lot of sales. I do a lot of sales. And I think that kind of brought familiarity. Yeah, I started my agency at 24 years old. And
that's why you got confused, because during that 25 at the book show.
I started at 24. So I started actually with the ad agency. At first I worked for a newspaper. And so I did Arbuckle Wilderness. I worked for a gym for a little bit. I went through a gym phase. And then I worked at a newspaper where whatever I sold, I designed. And this was before computers. So we did pay step. Yeah, we did pay step. So what we would do is we'd send out for type. And we had these big, massive clip art books. And then we'd also do transparencies, for the photos.
Yeah.
And you'd actually cut and paste and do it. Learned a ton. And again, I had to sell. And then I worked for the ad agency. I started as a receptionist. Then I went to
I didn't know you started as a receptionist.
I started as a receptionist. Then I went to an assistant AE. And then I went into broadcast management.
Oh.
So I became the
commercial.
I did. My biggest client at the time was Glamour Shots, which you're not going to know what that was. But
kind of project. I know what Glamour Shots.
Okay, Glamour Shots was all over the United States.
And you were modeling at the time.
I was modeling at the time. I was
doing like the first models for Sherry Hill.
I did the modeling for Sherry Hill, which was so fun. I also did BC Clark's. I was there at a jewelry company. I did a lot of Dallas Market, which I would make more at Dallas Market in a weekend than I would make in 2 weeks at the agency, at my ad agency. So when I was 24.
And also your ad agency, one of my favorite stories that you were crying to me that you couldn't afford.
Oh, when I started at the ad agency, we had no money, Kurt and I. And my boss was very old-fashioned and a great guy. I loved him, but he was very old-fashioned. He wore suits every single day. It was very madman. Mm-hmm. And he expected girls to wear, like, pantyhose and the suits and all this stuff. But I had no clothes. I graduated college. I graduated college in May. I got married in July. And so it was a rude awakening. I got married at 22. It was a whirlwind. It was way too young to be getting married. But I got married at 22, and I started the agency, and my boss called me in and said, you have to get some clothes. I mean...
Can you imagine that? I would say, that would not work out. Cancel today.
Cancel.
You'd be done.
Mortified.
Yeah.
And so I called my mom because we were living paycheck. I mean, I would literally rush my paycheck to the bank before my grocery check would cash. I mean, I was running to try to beat it. And so I didn't have any money, and I was like, Mom, I don't have any money, and I've got to get some clothes. And so she's like, okay, I'll take you. So she took me to Streets, and she bought me, I think, 3 or 4 pantsuits that I could mix and match. And so I was there for about 2 years. At the reception, I was in college. I was a receptionist there at college. And I decided I could do this on my own.
Yes,
but it's terrifying way. At this time, I was in broadcasting. Okay, so I did radio and TV. Did not do print at all. And before I left my job, I had secured a couple of commercials and animation. Animation was really big at the time.
Oh, wow. And all the jingles.
Yes, and all the jingles. And so I left stupidly at 24, thinking I could do this. And quickly found out that I would go into a mom and pop and say, hey, I'm here, I can do commercials. And they're like, but hey, I can't afford a commercial, but I can use a brochure. And I'm like, yes, I can do that. And then I would say yes, and I'd go figure it out. And so this went on about a year. And then I was able to, actually because of somebody I knew, I was able to pitch for the Parade of Homes. And
you knew got you in the door.
Got me in the door to pitch.
And I was there.
Exactly. And I was pitching against somebody that had the account for years.
Yes.
And I was pitching against many people. And I won the account, which was
unbelievable.
Massive.
How old are you?
I am still trying. I'm putting 25. 25. Because it was really close to when I quit. It was about 25. So I won the Parade of Homes, and my parents and my husband, your daddy, took me out to dinner. And I laid in the back of the car and sobbed like a baby and said, I have no idea what I'm doing. I cannot do this job. I am going to epically fail because I do not know what I'm doing. And it ended up being the best thing. Again, goes back to sales. One of the things that we had was a magazine that I had to, it was a scattered site. So we had 300 homes, and I had to sell all the ads, design all the ads on the spot, and shoot the photography right then. So I was super, it just taught me so much. And so that's pretty much how it started. It started in my bedroom.
You were being a new mama.
Well, that started in my bedroom. Yes. And then we restarted everything in Texas. We moved to Texas. We left everything. And it wasn't, we weren't leaving for any reason other than we knew we didn't want to stay in Oklahoma and that for the rest of our lives.
Yes. And their family had moved here. They
were going to go to another Arbuckle Wilderness in Texas.
So I did grow up a short time frame of giraffes. They had very funky African cattle that we had.
And koi. Yeah.
Yeah, they had
Zebu cattle. We had little mini zebus too.
Yeah, so I knew the giraffes.
Yeah.
Sure. And then that went into horses later.
Right.
But it was a huge part.
Ostriches. We went through the whole ostrich thing where we raised all the ostrich eggs.
They did incubating.
Yeah, we did a lot of incubating.
The whole ostrich facility.
Yeah.
I remember all of that. And early on, one of the things that y'all created was the drive-thru.
Yes. So my parents, when my parents moved down, and my middle sister, they moved to Texas probably 2 years before we did.
Yes, and all on the same property, all the same land.
Yeah, that's when we lived on the truck with the trailer.
Yeah.
And then my sister and my parents created a Christmas drive-through called Follow the Star, and
people still talk about it.
Yeah, it was. If you saw how far backed up, they would back up all the way down 46, which people don't know what this is, all the way into town, which is probably 3 miles.
Yeah,
into this. But it was so funny because Dad was restarting his law practice, and I had brought clients with me.
Dad worked for a practice. Did he restart a practice? Or
No, he left his job, and so
he started a practice.
He started a practice here. And then I kept some clients from Oklahoma, and I flew back and forth to Oklahoma up until Bo was a baby.
Really?
I finally quit going when he was a baby. But I restarted in the bedroom of our trailer, my advertising agency. And the beautiful thing about the Christmas drive-through was we opened a concession stand. So it really helped us financially when we came down here with no jobs. And we were restarting our life. And Dad and I, for 3 years, made our money by selling hot chocolate, Christmas cookies, popcorn, and Coke.
I remember the Christmas cookies that big in my face.
They were awesome.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they were
amazing. I have memories of some of the animals.
So we probably did it longer than that then, maybe 5 years.
And I remember the drive-through.
Yeah.
And so I still have dreamed about it.
Yeah.
It had so many Christmas lights throughout it, and then it had the ostrich facility there.
Right.
And the giraffe.
And we incorporated exotics within the Christmas lights.
Yes, I love it. And then also, we had a giraffe barn, which became the horse barn.
It sure did.
Eventually.
Yes.
And so those are some of your early.
So tell real quick, because we got probably 10 minutes. Okay, tell about your
So you would make me intern or work from the time I was 14.
Yes.
We had different projects in the summer that we'd have to do because the school was hard. So we were working in school.
We didn't make it then.
So that in the summer we had to be productive, especially when we got older. But I remember when I finished jobs, I basically got enough not from that.
How would you do it?
I was for a cooking class, and I thought, wow, I love this. I was so excited, and she said, "Can you just help me wash dishes?" And I read it, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm not even how to wash dishes.
Because you never had to, because you don't wash it. You need
So I didn't know I didn't. So I was trying to keep up, trying to do dishes for this class all day, and she was like, "You know what? This is probably not the great bet." I thought they couldn't listen to me. And
you still don't like this.
I think I'd be traumatized. My first thing I ever did was I was asked not to come back. And so yeah, that was the first thing. Like, oh, don't come back, please, to watch this. Don't come back. But then we did internships at the ad agency, and Bill and I were always watching. You made us interact with adults.
Absolutely. What's so funny is this podcasting room that we are in, it's half right now, but it was a full playroom, and I had a window where I could knock on the window, cut it out with you two fighting.
Yeah.
And you guys were really raised in that agency.
So we would go watch the artists, we would, be creative. We learned creativity, and also that kind of way I thought my life was going. Yeah. From design, advertising. And that's how I thought of having, especially with social media, like becoming these things.
Right.
And so we had the intern here. We were given a nonprofit client.
So, which is so cool because at the time, I didn't even know that we were going to do a nonprofit.
No idea.
But we picked a nonprofit in town, and we were like, hey, we'll do your advertising free for you if you let our interns do it. But we'll take it back, and we're going to teach them how to do it.
Yes.
It was a really great program, but man, it was a lot of work.
So I
had 4 interns, and it was a ton of work.
I don't know. I remember going to the pregnancy care center, and we did all the videos for that, the content. We made the brochure. I was learning Photoshop and designing all that. So I thought, I'm going this route.
And also working on a team.
I was on a team, and then really falling in love with the nonprofit. I remember a funny story. I'm trying to think how to say it without saying language.
I do. Well, you can say it. I know exactly.
No, I don't want to say it because then you get flagged. I was flagged. So, but it was a public security center, and we were filming a video, and I'm in the video with Akaman.
And you're in high school, there's like, and of course, in school, and these were all
my Christian school friends, and sort of they have a book talking about
it was STDs.
So they're filming the back of my head, and the volunteer just picked up a random book, didn't know what it was about, and they started flipping through it, and graphic, horrible pictures of things I've never seen. I was like, what the heck that is? And it's pictures of it, like, so they're flipping through this book, and literally, I'm like bright red, I'm doubled over, I'm dying laughing, I can't say anything, and the volunteer realizes what she's showing, I think, of course it didn't plan to, and the video is so funny.
See, what an education of coming to work in advertising.
Yeah. And so I learned that, and I fell in love with nonprofit work, and I think that with the dream the silent, probably around that time, it just brainstorming.
Yeah, 16.
16, they brainstorming about that. Because even when I was little, we used to go to a group home, a foster care facility for troubled kids, and I remember, this is just unbelievable. This whole concept, and even I made my best friend at the time create an entire business plan when we were 8 years old about this nonprofit we're going to create to help kids. So those things were early on in my world too, especially that pregnancy care center made me fall in love with nonprofit and helping people and making things beautiful for people. Made me fall in love with that, and also I really did think I was going to go more in graphic design and all that, and when I did those jobs, well, these volunteering, but Young Life here put me in charge of other social media, graphics, and I started learning that, and of course, you're learning by you would mess up or something would happen, they would talk to you, hey, can you not do that next time? So I was learning, and I was going a lot with that as well, and that's kind of where it all started with. I think we do have something generational to take risks, and I hope that it doesn't stop with me either. I think our whole family is always like a risk taker, and same.
Well, look at your brother.
My brother did a whole other story.
Yeah.
Him starting his venture company and
at 24.
I think that's at 24.
Yeah.
No, but he started it.
Well, he started at college, but he actually went bricks and mortar at 20.
Yeah.
It's one thing to start something on campus where you're kind of moving around and you don't really have the financial tie into it yet. But when he started the bricks and mortar, he was 24.
Wow. So 24 Bo.
Yeah.
24 you.
Uh-huh.
Granddad was 25. And I was 25 and got the bricks and mortar for 8%.
But 18 when we started at the second.
And then started 8%. So I may win earliest entrepreneurship.
I win it.
I think I did. All right. So let's do the cup of courage.
Cup of courage. We got the cup of courage. And then this is it. We got it. Let's do two of them. You want to?
And get your.
Oh, Hank thinks it's snacks because you know what? Somebody forgot to.
and then he goes.
I keep getting that same one. I don't want to answer that one.
I'll just an app.
Okay. Emma and Kathy. Wait, I don't have the right glasses on. I can't see.
I'm a new level of old.
New level of old.
Glasses.
Okay. Oh, this is a really deep one.
Change it.
We don't have time. We got 30 minutes. We need something fluffy. Give me something fluffy. Okay. Oh, you just answered this. That's about being single.
I know.
You just answered that. Okay. My cup of courage. I'm not getting really good cup of courage this year.
These are questions.
Oh, okay. This is good.
This is questions that let's just
people. Yeah, it's information.
Audience.
But let's just do one because this is to you and I.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll just do one cup of courage. Okay. So Kathy, who's the craziest, Emma or Bo? Well, my initial thought is immediately Bo.
No hope for Bo.
Bo is my wild child, and he's my kid that's covered in tats.
Follower.
I don't think he has earrings right now, but he's had earrings.
And he has had earrings.
Yeah, he lived in the
Potatoes farm.
Oh, great. What?
I did another tattoo, I think.
You know what? We made him swear he had to be 25, and he's going to be 25.
He on the dot. On the dot of 25.
Dang it, Myrna. Okay.
Yeah.
He lived in his car during COVID for 7 months. And
I wish I could have done
and all he did was rock climb. So he was my kid who would get in trouble and be like, it was worth it.
He like punishment, experience when punishment will come later.
Exactly. But Emma does crazy God stuff too. Well, Bud does too, but Emma does crazy God stuff, things that,
seem
that seem crazy, but they always seem to work out. So that's what I would say. Probably just in general, Bo's probably the crazy
wild child.
The wild child.
I'm not a wild child.
You're not a wild child.
You're have some of that in me. Like, if someone wants to be spontaneous, I'm all in.
You're all in.
Hop in a car, drive somewhere, shit, let's do it.
Yeah.
But I would say it's different levels.
So do you think Bo's the crazier one? The wild
Bo
one?
definitely is. I think things that don't make logical sense because God's like, try this, do this.
Right.
Shit, let's do it, So I would say maybe I took big risk in leaving.
Right.
I think maybe Ben now is doing the same thing because he's been asked to do.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fun.
Well, there you go. Cup of courage. Cup of courage. We're going to start Cup of Courage earlier if we have that deep of questions.
So, well, I thought that, I love you, Mama.
I love too.
It's fun.
That was fun.
Oh, this is really big for us.
It has been good. So,
anyway,
keep listening.
Subscribe, like, comment. If you leave a review, only 5-star reviews are welcome, though.
Otherwise, just go to another podcast.
I was like, something I don't want you here.
No, we do. We actually do.
If you don't leave a 5-star review,
we'll take some constructive criticism.
That's good. Okay, yeah. I don't like
that's how you get
criticism. That's it. Don't give me criticism. And then
you're a 3.
Comment. If you comment, I will read your Instagram handle. I will give you a shout out. We're going to read your comments and questions here. We'll put them in the Cup of Courage.
Yep.
And stay tuned for next time with a happy and our crappies. Hot takes that you may never need or want, but we're going to give them to you anyway.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
She's not my sister.
That's a claw.